So people remember the hype about the Human Genome Project. That finished in 2001. It took 15 years and $3 billion to sequence 6 individuals. Now we can do that in a week at a fraction of the cost. So what that means is now that although we started to understand what was a normal person's genetic structure 10 years ago, now we can do that so quickly and so rapidly that we can start looking at cancer. And so Australia is involved as part of an international cancer genome consortium, a consortium of 24 countries, each one of them targeting a particular cancer that's important to them or important globally. And a main cancer for Australia is pancreatic cancer. And so as part of the Australian Pancreatic Cancer Genome Initiative, which is really a partnership of a network of hospitals, research institutions Australia-wide, we're mapping the genetic blueprint of pancreatic cancer. We then take that genetic blueprint and we allow the research community in the whole world to look at it and start to research and understand more about it so we can develop new treatments.
I think the first thing to recognise is that this project is giving us the encyclopedia that will explain what's been broken in individual cancers. And once you have that book, you can start to now try to work out what might be the Achilles heels in individual cancers. That gives us the ability to think about if there are drugs that are currently being used for other sorts of cancers, maybe in individual cases they may work on a pancreatic cancer, or indeed maybe there's whole new targets that we haven't thought about before that we should be addressing in pancreatic cancer. And we can only really get to that point by characterising a very large number of patients and understanding the full repertoire of things that can go wrong within these cells.
Our aim is to sequence almost 1,000 pancreatic cancers and be able to identify where the defects are and then develop new drugs for them. But in the short term, target some of those genetic abnormalities that we see that already have drugs for them.
To explain that a little further, we know that cancer now arises through the accumulation of damage to your DNA. It's like breaking files on the hard drive of your computer. Once you have enough damage, cancer will occur. And really what we need to do is look at a large number of patients and then pull that together and try to find where there are common themes that are actually driving this particular disease.
Really, if you want to treat something, if you want to interfere with it or affect it, you've got to understand what it is in the first place. So you have to describe it fully, and then you have to figure out how it works, and then you can bring about the treatments. So generically, that's what this program is about.
So personalised medicine is all about getting the right treatment to the right patient at the right time, at the right cost, and with the right outcome. We're all individuals, and so our diseases are different. Although we can group them all into broad diseases, really treating them is all about targeting the right defects, the right bits that drive that particular individual cancer, and they're different. So whilst before we used to group cancers just from where they came from, say the pancreas or the breast, whilst that's important from a surgical perspective because a surgeon needs to know which bit they're taking out, we're starting to understand that these cancers, even though they're from different organs, share common genetic or molecular targets. And now that we make drugs that target these particular abnormalities, we want to try and match that target with the right drug.
The research is really based in 2 centres. That's here at the Garvan in Sydney, but also at the University of Queensland. And we draw on a group of researchers from around Australia. In terms of patients, there is a network that has been established, and we've been recruiting from entirely across Australia. So really patients from anywhere within Australia can be involved in the project.
Long-term genome research is going to bring about cures. That's the long-term goal. Of course, the pathway to that has many other bits of knowledge and research as well, but the genomics, the things that we do in genome research, are really driving this process as fast as it can be driven right now. So long-term, that's what's going to happen. But short-term, there are benefits as well. The benefits are in bringing the ability to use known drugs that are involved in the treatment of other disease, other cancers, into pancreatic cancer treatment for those few individuals who might be fortunate enough to have the kind of changes that those drugs can work on. And also, genome research offers to bring about a sense of precision and certainty about the diagnosis and exactly what's going on with the disease. And that can be greatly heartening, that alone, for anybody who's suffering from this disorder.
It's all about precisely diagnosing an individual's particular cancer. And by understanding more about how a particular cancer works, where its weaknesses are, we can start to target those. So we imagine in the future, what will happen is when a patient comes in to see a doctor, we can take a sample of that tumour, a sample of a patient's blood, then we can sequence that using our new technologies and identify where those targets are. At the moment, we only know of a few targets, but as we learn more and more, we can identify new ones and then develop drugs for them. We have some opportunities now for early wins, so we can get things early into the clinic. There are drugs out there that match particular targets that are used either in other cancers or in other diseases. And so that we can transfer those drugs and say, you've got a particular drug for breast cancer, but it's never been tested in pancreatic cancer. That particular drug targets a particular genetic defect in breast cancer. But if we see that genetic defect in lung cancer or pancreatic cancer or colon cancer, then obviously we should try to test that drug in that particular circumstance. And that takes drug discovery or taking things from the bench to the bedside from 30 years down to 3 or 4 years. And that's the first step that we want to take. Of course, building up the level of knowledge and developing new drugs takes a significantly longer period of time, but we have an opportunity here where we can rapidly transfer what we know about other cancers and the treatments that they used in other cancers in different cancer types. And so we start to group cancers not based on their organ, but more based on their underlying genetic defects. And we target those particular genetic defects irrespective of where that cancer first originated.
So I think what's happening with this project is, in the first instance, it's giving us the atlas or the map of what can go wrong within pancreatic cancer. And once we have a full understanding of what's driving the disease, we can then ask the question, where are the Achilles heels in individual patients, in their particular tumours? Are there drugs that may be used currently for a different type of cancer that may have worked on that individual tumour? Or indeed, are there new targets where we can make new drugs to have a better chance of tackling this disease?
The exciting and very happy thing is that this is there now, at least in a few selected circumstances and places. That is, all the ingredients are in place, and researchers like my colleagues Sean Grimman and Andrew Biancan, and clinicians like Andrew, are pushing this into the bedside position right now. But it's in these select circumstances, and we don't really have the infrastructure and the resources to be doing this en masse. But that's what the research and the clinical community is really busily engaged in right now. It's getting this to work en masse.